Hello, we are back for part two for the Queen. We're gonna see what next those next questions are, and I think Tim is up to answer the next one.
All right. The Queen trusts you, but no one else in the royal court does. Why? Well, I think maybe it's a pretty straightforward thing. I don't know that it's just going off of what's been established. I don't think that it's that they don't trust me. It's maybe they don't trust my decision making or
Yeah,
intelligence or capability to be informed, to be as close to the Queen as I am. So I would say that I like that the Queen trusts me. So I like that part of this card the most.
right.
I'm also entirely aloof. So if it's okay, can I say that? Can I say that I don't think that anyone doesn't trust me, but I'll open it to you to answer why.
Oh,
I'm completely unaware that anyone would not trust me.
I have an answer for that. So my answer is that I don't trust you to not keep anything from the Queen, right? So I would never confide in you anything that I wouldn't confide in the Queen because she would hear back about it, right? I'm not gonna go you with sensitive information, and also because I think you're a little incompetent.
I thought we were so close.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. If there's political conniving and whatnot, nobody would want to bring you in on any secrets that they had from the Queen, right? I mean, she chose us because she knows that we love her. That might infer that there's no one else she thinks that loves her. And if that's the case, then others might not always speak, always have the Queen's best interest at heart. So I could see people, just being afraid of you revealing their political machinations just out of gabbing, right? Oh yeah, so and so said that they were gonna planning on a coup. Oh wait, yeah, that's bad, right? But yeah.
No one plays checkers with me in court. No one sits down and just plays games with me, and I don't know. I just assume that it's because I'm going to win.
Oh, nice. The Tiro Kimona says, "Who's out to get the Queen?" I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, we're gonna find out.
What makes the Queen beautiful in your eyes? I think, to me, this is a pretty self-sufficient one, is that she is self-sufficient. She knows what she wants. She gets what she wants. She has power. I think her confidence and her ability to wield and get what she wants is beautiful to me because of the way that I am and who I am. I have certain amount of freedoms, but I also have some restrictions in what things I can do. I cannot love the person that I love.
Yeah.
And that is a freedom that the Queen has.
It sounds to me like if it wasn't a freedom that she has, it would be something that she would take. Even if the royal court was like, no, you've got to marry, or you've got to enter into a relationship with such and such. I could very much see our Queen being like, nope.
Yep. I totally agree.
Do you in some ways find just the proximity to the things that you want is part of what makes her beautiful? Is part of what makes her beautiful the fact that she has that power?
So I think one of the things to riff on what beautiful is here, what makes her attractive, is that we're part of the retinue that loves her and that she knows that we love her. And I think a lot of the things that she likes are things that we also in one way or another like. And so being to get to the point of proximity is she gets what she wants a lot of the time. And a lot of times that's really nice for all of us who are right next to her, that we can get a lot of the similar things. But if she's, say, in love with my love and she gets my love, that may not mean I can get my love.
It may not. Yeah. Let's see how possessive the queen is, how territorial she is. Especially if she's used to just taking the things that she wants.
Mm-hmm. It's got to be careful about our relationship moving forward after that incident.
Yeah. Is there anyone else who thinks, sorry, this is not about your question, but it's making me think of something. Is there anybody else who agrees with me that the queen has like eyes on this big tall tree of a creature that Sam is?
Oh, I think I definitely have some inkling of it. Just because I think maybe it's I thought she caught me looking at Sam, but then I realized she was also looking at Sam the same way. And she didn't catch me doing it. And so I was at first very thankful, and then like, I don't know about this.
I'm trying to think. I think you're absolutely right. I'm trying to think about how I like whether I am aware of that and how I receive it, if I am, or even if I'm not. I think I imagine I'm gonna give me another question like in a round here, and we'll get back.
And we'll figure out. A lot of
Yeah.
times these things that you're like not sure of, they cement
Yeah,
themselves later on.
Totally.
All right, I'm gonna do mine. The queen is not your queen. Why do you serve her anyway?
That fits.
It fits, but I feel like I've answered this already. Like I don't think there's anything new to this question. I can exit, but I don't know. I might pass this card because we've talked a lot about how she travels around, and I like the idea of us being kind of a motley crew, and also like you've described your species as being different than ours as well. So, Sam, I would like to hear your answer to this question.
That's great, because I would love to give an answer to this question.
Yes, I'm so glad when that is.
So I think you're like this is exactly the card we were waiting for, right? The queen is not my queen, but I serve her. I imagine that I sort of like joined up on this retinue in a very similar way to the way that you did, Sean, right? Of just being, she was traveling around with whatever her current retinue was and was like, look at that thing's wings. Like that's my new flag. Get in here, right? And since then, like I serve her because she treats me in general, she like cuts me a lot of slack and she treats me really well. Specifically because I know that she has a strong affection for me, right? And that it's not mutual, or I would have just sort of embraced that by now. But I enjoy reaping the rewards that come from the affections of royalty. I didn't even intend for that to be alliterative, but here we are. Yeah. You're muted, Sean, if you're trying to say something there. But yeah, I don't know. That's it. Like I've answered the card.
I'm good. Cool. I dig it.
So Tim, you're up now, I believe.
Yep.
Would it be your card, or did you pass it to the next person and then?
Yeah, it is my turn and my pleasure to hear Sam's answer. So then we just keep going around. So yeah, you're up next.
Okay. Here we go. The queen gave you a compliment once. What was it, and why? Why have her words stayed with you? So.
Oh man, you just get all of the queens like loves you. It's
I have to say that I heard this on the first game that I listened to on the show, and I wanted this card.
You've been waiting for this card.
I've been waiting for this card, and the reason for it is she didn't actually compliment me. I just think that she did. She was speaking to someone else about something else. And I think that she is a little bit dismissive towards me on purpose. Like, when the popular kid has a friend and they're a little bit, they're too cool to be really, really kind, just outwardly kind, like a kind person. So she doesn't really do that in our relationship. But I know she loves me. I know that I'm her best friend ever. But the compliment that she gave me once that stuck with me was, I'll say that I was moving something pretty heavy from one place to another, and she was telling somebody else in the room that it's brilliant. She just said the word brilliant, and I've never heard that word in directed towards me.
Yeah.
And I thought that what I did made her say that I was brilliant. And since then, I thought, I think I still do, that I am. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm incredibly capable and brilliant.
Wow.
There's an opportunity here for a brilliant pun, in which she actually was referring to the brilliance of a light.
Something was light.
Like,
yes.
Yeah.
The light that you were maybe holding.
Yeah. Given that we've already got one in canon.
I really like the idea that brilliant might be might have been used in a different way.
This all works.
Yeah, but I dig it. You like set the big thing down and she's like, that's brilliant. And you're like, yes, I agree. Yeah. This is the perfect place for this chest of drawers.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm so glad someone else sees that.
I have worth. I have value.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Well, I'm glad that you got that card that you Oh, Yoshi.
What did you do to disappoint the queen on this journey? I think after the the incident and then me catching the queen staring at Sam or looking longingly at Sam, I think the next time she tried to set me up, I told her, I'm like, I don't care anymore. You can set me up with whoever you want because it's not who I love. You know who I love.
Oh my goodness.
That's always going to be what matters. And so I think I disappointed her because this is something she can't do. She can't change who I love. It's not something she can take. She can take it away from me.
Yeah.
She can't take my feelings. And yeah.
I have a question for you, Yoshi.
Yeah.
How, like, if you had never met me, how would you feel about the queen and her advances?
What do you mean, like her advances?
Like, if you'd never met me, would you be in love with the queen, or like, would you feel that way about her?
I mean, I still love the queen, but like, I don't want the queen to be my lover. And so like, if I had never met you, I would still love the queen. I still might have her set me up with people, but it's more the resigned resentment of like, you can try setting me up, because she's been trying to set me up with somebody for a while, and it's just
it seems like
when I asked the question, I for some reason I scrambled who she liked in my head, and that's what was going on there. Sorry.
There we go. It seems like before you two met, that maybe when she was trying to set you up, you're like, sure, I'll try. I'll try it, and it just never stuck. Like, it was
exactly.
I'll go on a date with so and so, and it didn't click. And then you met the person, then you did fall in love, but it was with the wrong person.
Exactly.
Like, she doesn't respect that and doesn't care, and she didn't want you to find a mate or a lover. She wanted you to find the progenitor of your offspring.
And so like, I'm giving her that, but she's disappointed that it's not going the way she envisioned it to.
Yeah, you don't want it. You're not grateful for it.
Right, exactly.
I have a question about that. What is the timeline like in how quickly does she need you to have offspring?
I think it's as long as I live. So I think probably not immediately. Like
I mean,
think
the quicker you have an offspring, the quicker she has backup, right?
Right.
And like right now, she's like living without a backup, and like that is dangerous, right?
Right.
And that doesn't mean that there's a problem now, but that like if you lose that master key, like things get way worse without you
Yeah.
knowing.
Well, it's dangerous for her, but it's job security for you.
It is.
Yeah, it's an uncomfortable job security though. If
Right.
she knows that you're purposely holding out, then
hmm
I was reading a little bit ago, but the fifth season by N.K. Jemisin, which is amazing. It's a fantastic, some of the best fantasy I've read in ages. And yeah, there were like these very rare, not these very people with these very rare talents, and it was sort of born to you, and so they were making them produce offspring, and they weren't necessarily happy about who they had to produce offspring with, but it was like, well, this is what we need, and when the state mandates you produce heirs, oops, yeah,
hmm
yeah, it doesn't often go great, doesn't often go well, so I love it. What do you bring that disappoints the queen? Yourself. Your stubborn, your unwillingness to fall in love with somebody else. What brings out the queen's kindness? Oh, this is fun. This is fun. We've had a queen that's gone back and forth between pretty severe and pretty kind. I think what the queen likes. We've talked about her sort of. We talked about her self-sufficiency. I think what the queen likes is like seeing other worthy and capable foes. And so when we have gone to war in the past with like various armies and whatnot, it like bores her entire, and like the whole like being a general is not her strong suit, nor is it something that she's really interested in. But when someone will like face her on the field of battle, or like do direct negotiations with her, or like just shows that they're willing to like confront her, then she's like very jovial, not jovial, but like just a very good sport. Like she honors and respects that. And so I think that the place that we're going to is like agreed to meet her on we have to travel to this dangerous land, and there's lots of perils, but they've like agreed to meet with her directly to broker a deal rather than go through diplomats, rather than go through like all these intermediaries, how we would normally do it. They're like, no, we'll meet. And maybe they're traveling as well. Maybe they're traveling to this distant land. Like the distant land is in between still them even further out. And so I think that she sees them as like being brave and being willing to take a chance, and she respects that. She wants like the thrill of the direct engagement. And so in general, aside from her love life being less than what she wants, this trip has been a generally pretty positive one, because she's really eager to meet her like opponent or contender, or like the person that's going to broker this peace, because it's the leader of the foreign land, it's not a diplomat. And so yeah, and I think that we see that in other little ways when people are willing to like do something directly rather than delegate or play it safe. It puts her in a good mood, a sports person, a sporting mood. That's it.
So it's not just in war, it's in whatever the person's discipline or role, as long as they're being sort of genuine and direct in approaching it. So let's say there was a diplomat or someone who came to her. If they were like, look, I'm a diplomat, I'm not going to try to sell you anything.
Right. I'm here to broker peace. I'm here to make a deal. And that's what we're doing. We're not off to fight. We're off to make an alliance. And what she's happy about is that it's literally the leader rather than sending some intermediary that's like, yeah, cool. Let's talk terms. Let's do this thing.
If nothing else, she's excited to like meet that person face to face and get a read on them. Right. even if the peace talks don't go well, it's like, well, now I've met my enemy face to face, and like that is exciting.
And the fact that they're willing to do it, I think, is what, like, she's like, cool, let's go.
Yeah.
And maybe is a bit impetuous and unwise because of that, but it's cool. We love her.
Comes with youth.
All right. There is a part of you that does not want peace in this land. Oh my God. Why are you attached to the war? Is this a new question?
I mean, it's been in the game, but it's not in every game.
Oh, yeah, I've watched a few of these. I haven't seen this one yet. This is amazing. All right. There's a part of you that does not want peace in this land. Why are you attached to the war? I think that once the war is, I would like something better than this. Maybe we can riff and get there. Okay, I would. Once the war is over, there's going to be so much less reason for this band of people to be wandering around from land to land together. And this is like my family. I mean, we spend all of our time together. We're almost never home. We're almost always on the move from place to place. Presumably, there's like a palace somewhere, but the queen barely is there, right? She's out tasting food and meeting people and going from place to place. And like, you know, as this little family is dysfunctional in its ways, it's my life. And once we don't have a war, once like the queen doesn't sort of need to be micromanaging like on the move, and once she doesn't need a standard bearer anymore, what becomes of us and what becomes of me? There's much more reason for her to separate me from Yoshi. There's much less reason for me to have privilege at all, and much more reason for her to try to bring me home and coop me up.
Yeah, like lock you up in a gilded cage and
yeah,
just,
exactly.
There's my pretty thing, but you wouldn't need to. Do you think do any of us know that, including her? Do any of us know? Have you voiced that, or do any of us suspect that?
I think like I have made it really clear how much I like the lifestyle and the company that I currently keep.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the emotionally intelligent of those among us have sort of inferred the flip side of that, that I really don't like the implicit other life that would come about at the end of the war.
Yeah.
But I think I also think I'm like I think I am smart enough to know that it would displease the queen if I was outwardly voicing that. And that to outwardly say like, oh, I want the, you know, like, don't take me home and lock me up, even though like that's what you're planning on doing afterwards.
Yeah.
And so I don't, I am only emphasizing the positive, eliminating.
Right. And not making, theoretically, you could also feel positive about other things. You're just not mentioning, you're gratuitously not mentioning those.
Yes.
I feel like I would pick up on it and have a big issue with it, because the war has sort of ravaged like people, you know, our places we've known. I feel like there would probably be like lots of like tense, not quite conversations, because we don't want to say it out loud, where we kind of talk around it, kind of using metaphors and talking about you know, other things that relate to it, but you know, we're not quite there, but clearly very opposed in that way.
Do you think war is like a good thing for civilizations? Oh, well, yeah, it brings out all this innovation, right? All right, but no, what about, all right. So I also think that there's a little bit of me just like not having a lot of like kindness or empathy for the people in the lands that we visit. And like, as like part of, you know, it's like the war being over, yeah, peace would be great, but like the real problem is that then my lifestyle would
it's totally personal. It's totally like yeah.
Right. And so I think that sort of attitude at large is also something that would really grind your gears.
You selfish jerk.
Yeah.
Did you like your life before?
It was boring, I think, is really what I thought of it. I don't know exactly what I was doing. I imagine I was, farming or something, right? Maybe I was a hunter. I don't know. But I think, I don't think it was bad, but I think I complained about it a lot more than I deserved to.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't satisfying to you.
Yeah, really not satisfying.
Nice.
All right, is that me?
That's you.
What part of this journey will be the most difficult? How do you pull the rest of the retinue through it?
Oh, I love that you have this card. I'm so excited.
So I think the most difficult part is when my best friend, the Queen, she gets really somber for a period of time, and it's during that time that Sam, you're being punished, and I think we established it was about 3 weeks or so. Is that what we said? It's about like a long period of time. You were in exile in the back of the caravan, and what you didn't know because you were back there is that the Queen exiled herself as well. She didn't want to do any. She was very, very somber during that time. And I think the most difficult part was I didn't have a lot of access to her. I didn't really know my place. I don't know my place when I'm not in her company. And because most people don't really want to confide in me or come to me, I was very lonely during that time. So I think the most difficult part of the journey for me was when that was going on there during those weeks. And I think that I pulled the rest of the retinue through it because I think I remembered the Queen's words to me that I was brilliant. And I came up with a game that those of us, sorry, Sam, who weren't in exile could play. And it was a very fun game involving quarters and sticks and random, coins and, shiny things and whatever I could find. And it was a lot of fun. And I think the people that played it understood that it was a very tense time. And there was a little bit of levity or a little bit of laughter during it. And I think also because the Queen, this is separate from that game, because the Queen exiled herself, it also allowed probably Yoshi a little bit more time to maybe head back. And so maybe Yoshi was a little bit happier than she would have been otherwise.
Oh.
And maybe also, Sean, the food taster didn't really, there was no pressure. No one was really serving. She wasn't eating. She was
right.
She was in mourning almost. And so you were off duty. And so I think there was some levity that I feel like maybe I was able to contribute to, but it helped me as well, since if that hadn't happened, I probably would have been, to use Sam, to use what you had said earlier, I would have been like the golden retriever curled up by the door waiting for the master to come home kind of deal. Yeah.
I love that it's your good nature and goodwill and playing games that gets us through the roughest times. I think that's very cool.
You are considered ugly by most everyone you meet. How does the Queen make you question that perception?
Oh, wild.
I almost did a spit take.
So, how? I think this is in that matchmaking thing, the getup that she's been doing with me to try to find other suitors. Part of her trying to set me up with other people is just like giving me like tips on, because I think she's beautiful and everybody thinks she's beautiful. So it's her like giving me tips and saying, no, do this. Oh, try this instead. Oh, that looks really good on you. And like all of those things. And that, like when I look in the mirror and I listen to what she says, like um I can hear the praise that she gives, and that it boosts my ego, and makes me feel somewhat attractive, even if I know, like, even if I know that she is trying to set me up with somebody and it serves her own purpose. I
Mhm.
can't, like, the fact that she's telling me I look good, it still feels good.
Yeah, our ego is so insidious.
Yeah,
It
like,
finds any way to accept a compliment and deny an insult, right? Like,
yeah,
so good at like,
yeah. It's like I know she has her own reasons to do this, but I still like it when she tells me I look beautiful.
So
who
I
would
have a question for you. Is it almost like I was immediately thinking of that scene like in Mulan where the matchmaker is trying to make them all look the same, almost like the same, but it's not who you are.
Yeah,
And so like she's making you question the perception. People they're not seeing anyone genuine because it's not. It's like, I guess this is just a cookie cutter. Is that kind of what it is, or is she dressing you up as actually you're actually coming across as ugly?
I think it's the, like, I think I know what you're going at is, I think the things that she compliments me on are the things that make me distinct, that other people say are ugly. And the things like, like whatever this feature is, if you try this, now that looks really good. And so, like, I can see the parts that I normally think are really ugly in a different way and reinterpreting them to be something that is beautiful. And even if everybody else, like, they're like, oh, you don't look as bad as you did before, like, it maybe not as beautiful to them, but like it still makes me feel better.
You're causing me to channel RuPaul's Drag Race, and I love it.
yeah, I love it so much. It's so good.
Cool.
Poor ugly wax secretor. Sorry, chat is you chat. You guys, you're amazing right now. Oh snap! The queen is responsible for the death of someone you love. Who and what happened?
Is it your fiance, and do you not know?
I'm not sure about the second, but that is exactly what I was thinking. I was like, well, who have I introduced? Who have we introduced that I know at this point? And that's it. Yeah. And here's the worst part of it. So I have a terrible question for either Tim or Yoshi. So we go to this land of moths, my home. Sam, you sort of announce our presence as a standard bearer and like pull out the lanterns, and everyone's like fawning over it. I'm sitting there entranced because I can't not be. And there comes up my fiance behind me, and they're about to greet me, stand beside me, something else. Like the queen sees this and sees the potential for disaster. Who did she send to do it, or did she do it herself? I wonder. I guess I guess I don't get to ask you all questions. I'm supposed to answer these, but
The queen does things herself, though.
it's true. You're right. The queen doesn't send people to do her dirty work. Yep.
But depending on how vindictive she is, do you think so? Here's my question to you, Sean. Is the queen vindictive enough that she sees the love that you guys have and sends me to go kill your fiance?
Oh god.
The alternative to that would be that she doesn't want to upset things too much. She's not as vindictive, but still wants it to stop, in which case she would order her most trusted servant to remove the situation quietly.
Yeah. I think it's the latter. I think Tim, you have been just told, like, that person, go bring them off to this other place, and I'm gonna have a meeting with them, and they never return. And she did it because I feel very strongly about this queen not delegating the dirty work, but I could also see her being like, yeah. And I think I don't think I know, but I suspect. Like, the whole night I kept looking over my shoulder, like, isn't she going to show? Well, why isn't she here? And I was asking the others, like, did you, or them rather, sorry, did you see them? And, and they'd say, oh yeah, I just saw them earlier today. And then they never showed. And then I thought, was it me? Was it something else? And I think I've been just really struggling knowing, are they angry with me because I left and that's why they didn't show? Or did something happen? And I can't ask. I just can't. Like, I can say a lot of things that are on my mind, but that's not one of them.
What is why did the queen do this? I'm like sort of intuitively following, but just
I think that she knew that my heart wasn't, that was the one thing that maybe would make me leave the retinue, is that I never wanted to leave my fiance, and I kind of got pulled into it, and now I had a lot of regrets about it. And they were the one that was going to sort of, that they were the one that was going to be the biggest threat to my loyalty.
Can I make a selfish suggestion?
Yeah.
I think there's an implicit threat there to me too.
Yeah.
Like, if you let romance come before duty, I'm gonna go friggin' kill the person who is on the romance side.
I think it's an implicit threat to both you and Yoshi.
Yeah.
I think it's all around. And I think that she's smart enough to just leave this sort of uncertainty in the air. The only one who really knows what happens besides her is her loyal servant, who isn't going to say, right? And
could I make a slight alteration to that?
Yeah, sure.
I'm also unaware.
Oh, okay, cool. You just brought them to the place, and then
the deed itself, I'm very unaware of. I was told that the person was very eager to get to somewhere else.
Yeah, cool. I think that leaves us all like, yeah.
All the feels are left on the viewers.
Yeah.
All right, I'm drawing.
Do it.
What brings out the queen's cruelty?
Oh goodness.
I mean, I feel like this is a very simple answer. Jealousy. It's just jealousy.
Yeah.
Like, or envy. I recently learned there's a distinction. But yeah, she is not about people having stuff that she wants, to the exclusion of her having it as well.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, petulance we've been talking about comes out. Yeah. I don't really feel like I really need to extrapolate on this very much. Honestly, I almost X'd it, but I'm fine with just a short answer like that.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jelly, royal jelly. Yes.
Did that come from the chat?
Yeah, it was chat. That was fictive fun.
That could only have been born of chat. The queen knows something about you that no one else does. What is it? I'm good. I mean, I think I'd like to say that literally no one else does, meaning I don't have any concept of what I'm about to answer.
This seems like a through line for your character, not necessarily knowing.
Yeah, and I think that I think she knows why I was given to her. I
Why?
think I don't know. I have no idea. I just know that she knows the reason why I would have been brought into her service or placed in her service. And so far, each person in the retinue has either a part of their genealogy, physiology, whatever it might be, part of their makeup. They were chosen because of who they are physically, or what they can do, or who their mother was. And for me, I don't know my family. I don't know any of that stuff. I just know that I'm for the queen, and so she probably has the information of my own lineage or my own origin story.
I have an idea, and it takes away a lot of agency from your character in a kind of horrific way. Are you interested in hearing it to see whether it's something you'd like?
I'm more than interested.
What if your species? What if you're the only one of your species? Like, there's many of us of different species. I mean, we're all sort of insectile in some ways. And what if you have a physiological bonding that when the first person that you see under a certain circumstance or something like that, you bond to, and you are bound to them for life. And the reason why you love the queen so much is that there is like a physiological impulse in you that you don't understand or know anything about, or can't differentiate from just your true feelings, that she is yours, and she knows that like you are bonded to her. And
like imprinting.
Yeah, like she's imprinted on you, and you don't know that that's a thing necessarily, but she knows that you would never betray her, because it's like a physiological bond. It's not even a thing that you are consciously aware of.
I love that. I can envision it being something like a diplomat from another land brings a gift, and it's a rare thing for the hatchling to be born in front of a queen.
Right.
That's brilliant.
And you crack out of the egg.
That's brilliant. That's moving a dresser right there.
Thank you. Last surviving lightning bug. Yeah. Oh God, that's kind of awful, but I love it.
I love it.
All right. Oh no.
Queen is under attack. Do you defend her? I think I do. I think I tried to defend her. I love the queen, and she, in general, I think has my best interest in heart, except for in one particular area. But it's not enough for me not to not defend her.
I think it's very hard for me. I think in the moment of the attack, the realization of what she's done comes to me as a fact that it can't be a coincidence. I think something about and I don't particularly care about going into like the tactical details of it, but something about the attack signals to me that that she has, although she often appears forthright and not doesn't employ subterfuge often, I think I can see that she also manipulates us and has controlled each of us in our own different ways. And when I realize that I'm on an invisible leash as well, it's really hard to know what to do. Like, every part of me is saying, your life is for the queen. She's everything that matters to you. You should do this. And then there's this doubt of or is that just what she wants me to believe? Or is that just what we've always thought? And I don't think I don't think I turn on her or run away. I think I'm just kind of paralyzed by that doubt and uncertainty. And I think when it's like, do I run in front of her to try and protect her? Or do I risk myself? I think I don't. I think I'm sort of frozen by that indecision and that doubt, and ultimately do not serve her.
So I think I took that threat, the like implicit threat of Sean's fiance being killed. I think I take it pretty hard, or not taking it pretty hard. I take it very seriously. I take it very much like, oh, that's the playing field we're on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's that moment of like, oh, we're being attacked, and I'm like, okay, this is where I defend the queen, and like I like intellectually have that thought, but like emotionally and like intuitively, I'm like, obviously you don't protect the only chance. This is the only chance to keep the war going. I mean, like what is she gonna not broker a peace? She does everything she sets her mind to. The only way to have the person that I want and to have the life that I want is to take this person that I'm having doubts about and allow them to be hacked. And I think if there was an opportunity, I would, literally stab the queen in the back. Or actually, you know what I imagine? It's like my instinct is like, boop, there go on the lights, and the like lights go up, and all the moth people like come in, and the queen is like preparing to like do her thing, and then right as all the moths like gather above us in the like one place, I like give the signal to the light to like stop, and so they're all like right there, and like it's me like in that moment of like, oh yeah, you know what? I'd actually prefer the other outcome here of like releasing the moth people from their hypnosis and like allowing the raid to happen.
Oh my goodness.
Let me build off that exact moment.
Yeah.
That is so. I was trying to figure out how I was going to do this, but the answer is no. I do not defend the queen.
What?
And the reason I don't defend the queen was I was conflicted up until Sam just explained the most perfect scenario for this to play out. I don't defend the queen because the queen ordered me not to. She specifically told her dog to stay. She could handle this no problem because the light was bright. She has never lost a fight. But when she's up there and I'm standing back in my place, not fighting, and the light goes out, the realization hits me that I'm not there to protect her. And there's nothing that anyone can do at that point.
We lose our queen in the darkness.
Wow.
And that is for the queen. Wow, now.
Wow.
Well, that was a way to end.
That was a heck of an ending.
Yeah. That was it. Thank you. Yeah, that escalated. Thank you all. Thanks to everyone in chat, and thanks Sam and Tim and Yoshi for playing this game with me. This sad game.
Thank you too, Sean.
Thank you very much.
This is fantastic. So Tim, why don't you lead us out? Let us know about you and maybe what you stuff that you're up to, where people can find you and things like that.
Sure. Yeah. No. Again, thank you so much for having me on. This was a ton of fun, and I love this game. I can't wait to play more of it. And look forward to it coming out. So my name's Tim Devine. My wife and I hack, design, and play games together, and we're just sort of indie game developers that just released our first title and funded on Kickstarter. We're very excited about that, the North Sea Epilogues. You can find us on diceupgames.com, or you can find me at GMTimD on Twitter, and you can find, we have a couple hacks of Lasers and Feelings and different things on our website. But that's where you can find us and stuff we're doing. Also, and on a couple different podcasts, I've played and run games on Roll to Play podcast, Victory Condition Games, and also Wait, Don't Roll Me. So, yeah.
Nice. How about you, Yoshi?
Yeah, and so again, I'm Yoshi Creelman. You can find me on, I play and run games for the Gauntlet, often gauntlet-rpg.com. And you can find me on Twitter at Yoshi Creelman. And then how about you, Sean?
Thanks. Yeah, I'm Sean Nittner. I use he, him pronouns. I am real excited about this game in particular. We have the Horned Queen, which was the queen that we played with tonight, it came in just recently, and we have 2 more queens that are on their way. I saw some proofs for one of them today, and it looked amazing. So those should be wrapping up in the next couple days, and then we're going to send it off to the printer, and then we're going to wait 6 months because that's how long it takes to get something manufactured in China. But I'm real excited about this game coming out. So yeah, we're going to keep playing games of it, but keep an eye on it because it is, as you know, because you just saw, real good. How about you, Sam?
I'm still Sam Dunwald. I still use he, him pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at Sam Dunwald, or at S Dunwald, excuse me. I don't have anything to plug. I play a lot of RPGs. If you want to play RPGs with me, hit me up. I like playing online. Yeah,
Nice.
Yoshi,
Yoshi
let's do
agrees.
it. Absolutely. Yeah. That's me. I hope to be around a lot more. I've been dipping my toe into this sort of community and industry, and I'm not going anywhere. So
nice. Well, I'm glad to have you. Cool. Thanks again, everybody in chat. This was fun. It got real dark right there at the end, literally and figuratively, and just a lovely game. So we'll be back next Monday, December 3rd at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, playing another game of this. And in between then, on Sunday, we'll be playing Burning Wheel. So keep hanging out in actual play. We'll keep doing fun stuff. See you all soon.